Hey, girl.
Hey, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Is this blue that you have on?
It is. It is. Any excuse to look halfway decent these days.
You know what? I don't care. Like, all of my videos have the same sweater.
I love it. I just couldn't. I was like, this probably still has the tag on it. It was delivered today. But
I just took the tag.
Get on.
Are you gonna pull it off or no?
Fuck it. I mean, when I take it off, see how it feels.
Oh my gosh. I can see I forgot to put powder on. Let me just grab that.
I'm like, I don't even know.
Your eyeshadow is blue, right? That looks really good.
It is. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Better do something. I don't think I've had on makeup in weeks.
Is this like your self-care thing that you're not getting to every day?
Yeah, because I love makeup. I mean, it's ridiculous. I have a whole bathroom of makeup, and I just, we're at home. I'm looking at Justin and Wallace. I'm not putting on a full face for them. I was doing it at first, and then, I gave that fight up. Nobody's
how's the husband and baby? I don't hear anything.
They're wonderful. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a warning now. So there are 2 dogs, and him and the baby in the room. The dog is sick, so they may have to make a quick dash through here. The dog, we're in the land of California, small apartments and big rent. So, if you hear anything in the background, edit it out later, because they're all in there. I hate to see what it looks like in that room. Oh, they're.
It is so crazy I'm so glad that these comedians that I work with inspired this documentary, and now that people are finally giving a shit, about shit. Oh, guess what? I had this platform that was waiting to be used, even though everybody tried to shut it down. These motherfuckers literally, wow,
that's what you do. You shut it down, right? That's
the threats and the internet trolling. Bitch, knock on my door and come here, okay?
Oh, that's what my friend says. My friend, she's like, pull up. If you feeling that serious about it, if you're that convicted about it, this is where I am. You can pull up.
And when I talk about white supremacy in Australian entertainment, these young people are like, oh, it's the old white people. I'm like, no, it's the young white people too. Because who do you think, whose names do you think are at the police department in one of our cities with all the fucking details, all the messages, all of the this and that happened over DM? You know what I'm saying?
People are, people really think, people have this cute idea that the racists were dying out. And I was like,
they had kids, bro.
Put them every day. You are the racist, because these little subtle microaggressions, this cute shit that you do, that's the racism. So no, y'all are still alive. You're still here. You're procreating and making other little. No, it's here. Don't feel
why do people think that politeness cancels all of your acts and karma out?
And that's, but that's what I like to call too, like that's California racism, right? Like polite.
Well, that's all the settler colonies now. So that's the United States, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. They all have that.
Polite racist. Polite.
It's covert, subtle, and it's insidious. That's what the UK people call it. It's insidious.
Oh, that's what I've been calling it. Okay, so am I in vogue now with my race talk?
Well, you know what? The thing that people say about Black folks in the UK is that they're in love with their colonizer. Have you heard that before?
Really?
They've been seduced by their colonizers. They actually will be like, ha ha ha, history. That's cool, but I'm British now. But I'm not going to speak for Black British folks, but we don't even need to go into the Indian British folks and what they think they are some of the time.
Right.
There's politicized people everywhere.
When Black British people tell me there's no racism. I mean,
there's no racism in Canada, apparently.
I know, where we were all talking about, he's better than what we've got. But, you know, let's not forget your prime minister still did blackface. Like, those things are still.
Blackface is, you know what, blackface, performing, we're going to talk about performing blackness, because saying the N-word and doing blackface and the excuses that people have and the we've always done it this way type of bullshit is like, yeah. And
now it's new something. Now it's like a ends to a meaning. I can't remember the comedian's name. She now has a show on Comedy Network, and she was in Crazy Rich Asians, and she has this whole Aquafina, right?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Aquafina is a problem. And if you don't, and I don't know the girl, I don't know her. I'm sure her struggle was what it was.
Okay.
But you know, whatever. I'm gonna
this
give her
is me
that.
saying, look, I'm not here for Lily Singh either.
Yeah.
Listen to me. You and I met in Oakland. Marvin is born and raised in Oakland, but he lives in Philly now. He'll be here apparently. And we both know that it's not okay. And my whole thing with Lily Singh is that she's not even a stand-up comedian, and she's gonna go and do all this mess.
And she's progressively gotten whiter, right? So we've seen the blackness. So this is what happens. Like, you start out and you get this homegrown group of folks who kind of love you because you got this vibe, right? But then as you progress, because as I watch her show, you know, she's got
bleached out.
Along, you know, she was doing commercials with Missy Elliott 2 years ago, and now it's like, you know, so it is what it is. That's the performance to me, you know, the same thing with Kim Kardashian. Come on, sis, take that bronzer up about 4 shades. Like, stop this. Stop the imitation.
One disturbing thing that I heard, okay, so the first time that my little comedy company put out a video, I was working with some other producers. One of them was a woman from India, and she was like, oh yeah, well, yeah, Lily Singh, that's not cultural appropriation because, and it's not distasteful because some areas life is just more culturally mixed. And I was like, no, it's not. She's not genetically Black. So look, people can sometimes tell that I'm from Oakland or whatever. I'm not saying necessary. I'm not going to be like, ooh, I have a Black friend. I can say this and that. And the Asians out here are doing way too much. No. I've been lecturing people for years.
There's a difference too, right? You can tell folks that have authentically been around Black folks or been around a group of folks of color, right? Like, you know, and I say that as someone married to one of those folks. Like, there's no imitation. You just naturally pick up that kind of cadence just because being around, you know what I mean? And there's just certain things you pick up. But also when you're genuine and when you have respect for a culture, you also know what you can and what you can't do. And so that's the difference. It's a respect thing. And also it's not you imitating. You don't have to imitate folks.
It's you. It's
you, and you just been, you know, he just happened to have been around a lot of Black folks in his formative years. So that's what it comes out to sound like. But you would never, it's not this whole fake.
But we do code switch. Like, to teach in Oakland, you know, I had to, every now and then, the student needs to be told that they are tripping. Hi, Marvin.
Hey. How are y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Sorry I am late. I thought the Zoom link was in the email, but it was in the Facebook message thing. So, yeah. My apologies.
No, it's all good. 5 minutes on Zoom is not long, but I'm just gonna, how are you doing? What's up today? Because it's what time is it for you guys again?
It's 7:05. 7:05.
Yeah, 10:05
Sacramento,
here.
California. 10:05.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's the end of the day. My kid just woke up, so we'll be up a while.
So I don't think you two have
right? Used to be bedtime.
What did you say, Marvin? I missed that little joke.
I just said it's nighttime for me.
Yeah.
It's like noon here. So
I see that sun coming in, and I'm like, wow, it looks real fresh there.
We're in the future. but in so many ways, way behind the US, and we're living in the past in Australia. I mean, my impression of Australia before I moved here, all I had ever seen was those videos that went viral of Indigenous folks on the train getting spat on by white people.
Oh, wow.
So that goes viral, I want to say, like every 3 to 5 years.
And that's so weird because that wasn't, but I was there such a short period of time. And so when you're young and 21 and, as 21-year-olds are, you're more, I guess, exotic American at that point. I think, because they I don't know if they still do. When I was there, they were calling, they could tell if you were American. And so Black girls from America were sisters. And so, we was feeling real fancy. But look, he said, oh. So, that was our short experience there. But, I almost didn't come home, but I'm glad I did now because it's feeling like a whole other vibe.
That's right. What years were you in Australia, Jessica?
It was summer into fall of 2005. So
right before we met.
Yeah, I just turned 21. Yep. It was right before I graduated.
That's crazy. I actually met, so out of the two of you, I've known Marvin longer. Marvin and I taught summer school together for 2 years. Is that right?
Yeah.
2005, the summer of 2005 in Oakland, California, and the summer of 2006. I couldn't take it anymore after that.
Years ago.
I couldn't take it anymore after that.
If you haven't interacted with Bay Area students, you ain't lived. I did. It was like boot camp. I was like having breakdowns, and I was like, this is hard. Like them kids are serious, and you have to come with your A game, and you have to be sincere. They are not playing games with you. I felt like I was dealing with grown women. I was like, oh, okay, this is how we doing it. Okay, that's fine too. Okay, they want you to be straight up. Like if you can do those students, you can anywhere. I think you can go anywhere. I mean, I don't know about people say New York or the Bronx or something. I ain't been there, but Oakland boot camp.
Don't sleep on these Philly kids.
They're right.
Don't sleep on these Philly kids. They no joke.
So Marvin, you switched from, because you were thinking about doing teaching. Good thing you didn't, because it's horrible worldwide.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle. It's underpaid. You know how it is. But I'm just curious because in Australia, the licensing around social work and therapy do have a lot of overlaps. Is that the case with your social work in Philly and your LSW qualification?
That I have a lot of?
Like therapy, it's a mix of psychotherapy and social work, or is that the same thing?
So social work is more of an umbrella kind of position. And so falling under social work, you can be an advocate for someone, or you can be a case manager for someone or for a group of people at a hospital, or you can be a therapist, or you can do maybe more macro social work. So if you wanted to talk about policy or help nonprofits run a business, sorry, there's a helicopter in the background, sorry. You want to help nonprofits run a business or be a consultant and tell them how to do it, in a culturally competent way. So like social work is all of those things. And so therapy is just one position that falls under the social work umbrella. Okay.
And how's that? And so am I right in that you're the creator of the Melanated Social Work podcast?
No, there are 4 of us in Melanated Social Work. So there's Josh, who is in Boston. Mike is in Williamstown, Massachusetts, which I think is about 2 or 3 hours outside of Boston. Jesse is back in Oakland, California, and then I'm here in Philly. So we actually all went to Boston College to their School of Social Work. Josh graduated a year before us, but he was part of the GSCA, the Graduate Students of Color Association. And, we just kept in contact after college. I remember going to this session called What to Know Before You Go. And one of the professors said, keep in contact with people who you you really basically vibe with and like can trust in this cohort of social workers. So I was just like, it would be dope to have all men and all men of color because like we're gonna experience the work the same way because we navigate the world in similar ways. And so we kept in contact. It started as us Skyping and just kind of checking in with each other and seeing how we were doing with the work, with the, the actual work, and then like the colleagues and politics part of work, and then just our own mental health. That grew into the Instagram, and we're at like almost 19,000 followers now. And then we have the Melanated Social Work podcast, and we have about 2,000 like average listeners. So yeah, I'm not the founder, but
was it your idea? I just had the sense that it was your idea though originally.
That what?
That the Melanated Social Work podcast was your idea.
No, I think it may have been Josh's idea actually.
Okay,
yeah.
That's nice of you to give him credit. You're a co-creator. You're a co-creator, which makes you a creator too. But
I'm a co-creator. We're a family. Like it's a brotherhood. So we all created it.
I listened to a few episodes. I listened to the one featuring Feminista Jones, and I read her book. I agree with her about the ally thing, that white people are basically, they're not going to have the same interests as the rest of us. But yeah, I love that one. And then I listened to the Black Lives Matter episode that you guys put out right after the death of George Floyd. And and you also do this thing called Mindfulness Mondays.
Yes, so I do host Melanated Mindfulness Mondays. So the idea was that I quit the school district and then moved to private practice. And basically I had all this free time and I was just like, what can I do? Also, I think the stress of, moving to private practice, and then that's when COVID stuff started. And I was just like, okay, what can I do to help myself and help others in terms of like meditation and mindfulness? So every Monday on Instagram Live, I bring on a licensed therapist, and they lead me in any type of mindfulness activity. So it could be meditation. There's an activity called progressive muscle relaxation, guided imagery, yoga, and we do the activity for about 30 minutes. So I'm doing the activity on screen, and then like viewers are, I'm assuming, doing it, at home, so they can benefit from it too. And then we debrief and talk about, how I felt and similar feelings that clients feel, difficulties doing it as a therapist, how it might feel as a client. And then that therapist is able to sell themselves. So they can say, I'm taking new clients, or here's my website, here's my Instagram handle. And so for me, it was like, it's a win-win-win. So selfishly, I get my meditation time because that's what I really wanted. The viewers at home get free, meditation, essentially. And then the therapist that comes on gets this platform. And a lot of therapy Instagram accounts don't have as many as we have. And so like now they have the platform to like show their stuff and like get business or just give themselves exposure. So yeah, every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific.
7 p.m. Eastern and whatever that is in AEST, I'll start,
I don't know what y'all got over there.
I can start converting it, and because I've been sharing both of your posts, but especially on Instagram, the posts that are on Melanated Social Work, and then also your personal account, Marvin Toliver, M.S.W.